7:42 on your Tuesday morning. The sudden passing of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham over the weekend has sent shockwaves through Washington. Now, preliminary medical reports reveal that the 71-year-old died of aortic dissection, which is a sudden tear in the body's main artery.
So joining us this morning live to break down what this condition is and really how to spot the warning signs, Fox Medical Team's Dr. Mike joins us this morning with details on this. It was heartbreaking, and you heard a lot of people sharing their thoughts over the weekend, and it just happened so suddenly. Good morning, Dr. Mike.
Well, Ty, Celeste, it's not a very common thing, but when it does happen, it's like lightning, and the mortality is quite high. If you have a dissection of the aorta, and I want to talk about, I'm going to show Bob off over here. If it happens out of a hospital, you have about a 50% chance of surviving. Even if you get to a hospital, only half of those are going to survive. So it's a very serious, life-threatening condition. Now, let's talk about what the aorta is. Here's your heart. The aorta is that big tube that comes around, feeds blood up into the brain, down to the body. And if you were to take a cross-section, all right, it looks just like this. It's a tube, and you have these layers, almost like a tree, you know, the rings of a tree. And on the inside, you have what's called the intimal layer. And what we think happens with an aortic dissection is that there is damage to that lining. That leads to a tear, and then blood either ruptures whole aorta or goes into a space that's not meant for blood. It's the middle of that wall. Now, what causes a tear could be plaque. Now, we do know that his father had a heart attack at a fairly young age. I don't know what his blood pressure was. I don't know whether his cholesterol was. But this is something that happens over time, which is why we all need to check your blood pressure and your cholesterol very carefully so that you don't get all that damage.
Dr. Mike, there was reports that came out that said that he had told somebody that he felt off. So are there warning signs before this happens?
I'm a believer, Ty, that you listen to your body. And I mean, look, he had just gotten back from Ukraine. Yeah. Maybe he just felt tired. Who knows? But this is the kind of thing, if it's a rupture, a tear, it's not subtle. It's not like, boy, I feel a little something, maybe I should take an aspirin. No, it's catastrophic. So I don't know that the symptoms he was describing are what led to this. However, look, if you're out there and you have chest pain, shortness of breath, you don't feel well, go and get it checked out.
So what are the tests necessary if you know, is there any way to check that you could be potentially in danger of having this situation happen?
Well, certainly there's another condition known as aortic aneurysms. That's where the aorta enlarges. That's something that can burst and rupture as well. Now, I do a lot of testing on people, even when they don't have symptoms, looking at their coronary arteries. It's called a cardiac calcium CAT scan. And that gets a look at your aorta to see whether the aorta is kind of enlarged or whether it's what we call ectatic, a lot of plaque in there. If there is, you need to be on it. Make sure you get that cholesterol down. Make sure your blood pressure is under control.